Hello there, Anne here from Zuvo Health. Hope you're doing well and staying safe. Thank you so much for coming back to this installment of our masterclass video series on imposter syndrome. So in this episode, I'm going to be looking at the types of imposter syndrome that we might experience. So what it looks like in our own lives and the way that it kind of navigates within its own process. Hands up if you can identify with any of these, or perhaps you know somebody in your life who is like this. The first type is the natural genius. So this is the kind of idea that we have whereby we think that we have to be naturally skilled at something in order for it to be real, or in order for the achievements that come from it to be valid or to have any worth. Now, I don't know about you, but there's a lot of aspects of my life that I have had to work towards, and there are very few people that I know that are naturally skilled at everything that they put their hand to. The reality is that we have to work hard for what we get to and the things that we achieve. So this kind of idea that we need to be a natural genius, it doesn't really have a basis in reality. We have our strengths and we have our weaknesses, and that's just the way life is. So you're really putting a lot of pressure on yourself if you think that you have to just quickly overnight get to grips with something, and it needs to be something that is second nature to you or something very easy for it to be real. If it's something that you've worked hard towards and you still get there, it is every much as valid as something that is a natural process. So the second type of imposter syndrome is the superhero attitude. It's somebody that can do everything and anything and can do it all at once. So perhaps you know somebody, maybe perhaps you live with somebody who tries to get everything and anything done all at once, stretches themselves very thin so that they do it. And again, it's an unrealistic achievement. It's something that cannot be done, and it's something that really requires reflection on how it affects your life and how it affects those around you as well. The third type of imposter syndrome that you might experience is the perfectionist. Somebody that needs to do everything to 100%, and if it's 99 or if it's 98 or if it's 97, it's a failure. This is quite a problematic thought process because it's all or nothing. Obviously, if you don't achieve 100%, you still achieve the rest of the percent. So it's something that needs to be commended, and it's really setting yourself up for a fall, because perfection is kind of an imaginary state. So if you're telling yourself that you need to do things to 100%, it's giving yourself an unrealistic goal. The fourth type of imposter syndrome that you might experience is the expert. Now, I know plenty of people in my life that think they're experts, but there is nobody that knows everything about everything. Okay, so the kind of thinking that you need to be like this doesn't take into account that you can take in other resources, or you can reach out to other people for support. And this, again, is a problematic way of thinking because it puts a lot of pressure on you, and it gives the people around you a kind of a false sense that you can be relied upon for everything, whereas nobody can be relied upon for everything, nor should they be. This would tie in nicely with the fifth type of imposter syndrome. It's the soloist. So somebody that likes to go it alone. I'll do it all myself. I know if I do it all myself, it'll get done, and it'll get done properly. Again, there needs to be room for delegation. There needs to be room for support, because if you take on too much, you're going to, again, set yourself up for an unrealistic achievement level, or you're going to set yourself up for a fall, and you're going to burn yourself out as well. So in our next episode of the Masterclass video series on imposter syndrome, I'm going to be exploring why we might develop imposter syndrome, how it can show up in our lives, and how it can get there in the first place. So tune in.